Welcome to Crooked Yoga. My name is Hannah. This is my sidekick, Bella. She makes yoga all that much cuter. Thanks so much for tuning in. I miss you guys on our Saturday mornings, but this is a great way to stay connected. Please start in a comfortable seat. You can place your hands to the tops of your thighs. Palms down is a little more grounding. Palms up is a little more receiving. You can also place your palms together in front of your heart. In all cases, lower your gaze or softly close your eyes. Take a moment to be steady and still within yourself. One of the real boons of this practice is you use movement to enter into stillness. It's a bit of a paradox in that sense. But according to yoga philosopher Douglas Brooks, yoga is a paradox to be embraced, not a puzzle to be solved. Gently place your awareness into your breath. With each inhale, sit a little taller, lift your chest a little prouder. And with each exhale, soften your exterior. Soften your muscles, soften your skin. So that what's lifting you is the brightness of your inhale from the inside out. I got the quote backwards. It's yoga is not a puzzle to be solved, but a paradox to be embraced. And what a gift that I made a mistake because I got to say it again. Take a few more deep and even breaths here. Gently lower your hands, open your eyes. Begin in child's pose, please. If child's pose is uncomfortable for your knees, your ankles, or your hips, you can lie on your back and draw your knees in. That's same shape, different orientation. Extend your arms out in front of you and rest your forehead on something. I'm gonna have my head lifted so you can hear me. So do as I say, not as I do. Squeeze your inner thighs in gently. As you push your hands down into the floor, tone your abdomen up toward your spine. Lift your armpits so your shoulders get a little lift. And then push from your shoulders into your hands and use that to sit your hips further toward your heels. If there's any more room to lengthen, walk your fingers forward and let your head be heavy. Gently make your way up to hands and knees, please. Line up the middle of your wrist with your outer shoulder. So your hands are a little wider than your shoulders. Spread your fingers wide and turn your index finger straight ahead. It's not one or the other, it's both. With your knees hip width apart, you can point your toes back or curl your toes, whatever's more comfortable. And with your inhale, lengthen the sides of your torso. Get long from your hips to your armpits. Exhale, round your spine, cat pose. Inhale, lift your chest, lift your chin, soften your upper back and go the other way for cow pose. Keep moving, keep breathing. No matter where you are in your cycle, keep squeezing your inner thighs in. Push your index knuckles down, squeeze your forearms in. Your index knuckles are those big knuckles on the inside of your palm where your first finger meets your hand. Then make your way back to a neutral spine. This time bring your knees and feet together. With your knees and shins together, sit back. Walk your hands forward, child's pose. Again, you can lie down on your back and do child's pose that way. Lift your head for this one, look towards your hands. Lift your armpits, tone your abdomen, and then walk your hands to the right. It's not extreme, like if you were on a clock and the top of your mat was at 12, your hands would be more toward 1 or 2. Squeeze your thighs in, tone your abdomen in. Lift both shoulders evenly and turn your abdomen from the left to the right. Walk your hands in through center and to the left. If you were on a clock, you'd be pointing more toward 10 or 11. Lift your armpits, tone your abdomen. Squeeze your thighs in. With your armpits still lifted evenly, turn your abdomen from the right to the left, as if you were dragging your abdomen over your thigh. Gently walk your hands back in. Make your way back to hands and knees, please. Set up your hands in the same way. Middle of wrists in line with your outer shoulders. Fingers spread wide and index fingers pointing straight ahead. Grip the floor with your hands so the muscles of your hands are doing the work rather than the bones of your wrists. Walk your knees back 6 to 8 inches, and for down dog, pull your toes under, lift your hips up and back. Widen your feet hip width apart or wider, and feel free to bend your knees. That'll give you more freedom in your low back and your hips. In all cases, lift your shoulders, push into your hands, and stretch your hips back. Place the inner edges of your feet together, please. Shift forward plank pose with your knees on or off the floor. With your next exhale, lift your hips up, down dog. Inhale, plank pose, knees on or off the floor. Exhale, hips back, down dog. Keep moving like that, or after your plank, add 1 push-up. Move at your pace. No matter where you are, keep your index knuckles engaged with the floor. Keep your abdomen toned towards your spine. Keep your head lifted to the height of your shoulders. The next time you're in plank, lower all the way down. Uncurl your toes. Walk your hands, straighten your arms by your sides, turn your palms up. With your hands and feet on the floor, lift your head and chest up. Push in the tops of your feet until your thigh bones get a little lift. Push in the back of your hands until your upper arms and shoulders get a little lift. Tone your abdomen in, then stretch. Your shoulders back, hands back, feet back, and your chest forward. Lower down. Place your palms to the floor outside of your chest. It's a little bit further back than your shoulders for Cobra Pose. Squeeze your shoulders onto your back. Lift the fronts of your shoulders up before you go anywhere. Push into your feet again. Push into your hands again. Lift your head and shoulders away from the floor. Prioritize legs strong, pubic bone down. Then move your shoulders back. Reach your chest forward. You can pull your hands as if back to help you with that. Lower down. For your hands and knees or plank pose, down dog. Lift your gaze toward your hands. Step or hop your feet forward. With your inhale, lift and extend. You can do hands on shins or knees bent. And with your exhale, fold over your legs. Bend your knees as much as you need to, which might be a lot this early in class, as much as you need to get your ribs and thighs together. Then with your ribs and thighs in contact, begin to lift your hips up. With your next inhale, fingers to the floor or your shins, lift and extend. This is half forward fold, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold Uttanasana. Inhale, place your hands to your hips, squeeze your shoulders on your back, stand up. Exhale, lower your arms by your sides, Tadasana, mountain pose. Place your feet together. Inhale, lift your arms overhead. Take hold of your left wrist with your right hand. Turn your left palm in. Then stretch up. As you go up, move your ribs back, your upper arms back, and then lean your torso to the right. Move your right shoulder blade more forward. Press your tailbone down, move your abdomen in. Lift your chest, lift your chin. Then push into your left foot and pull with your right hand. Lift it. Switch sides, take hold of your right wrist, turn your palm in. Stretch up, inhale. Move your ribs back, upper arms back, then lean left. Press your tailbone and abdomen in. Move your left shoulder more forward so your chest is turned open. Lift your chest, lift your chin. Push your right foot down and pull with your left hand. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, lower your arms, mountain pose. Step to the top of your mat, please. Inhale, lift your arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift and extend, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step back, plank pose. And hold here. You can lower your knees to the floor if you need to. With your fingers still spread, grip the floor with your hands, push your index knuckles down. Now there's a lot of push in yoga and not a lot of pull. So here's where the pull comes in. As you push your hands down, tone your abdomen in, then pull your hands as if apart toward the outer edges of your mat. Keep that, then pull your hands back as if toward your feet. Take an inhale, reach your chest forward, lower all the way down. Uncurl your toes, slide your hands back. Same cues of the hands but in Cobra Pose, Bhujangasana. Push your feet down, tone your abdomen in. Before you lift to your capacity, lift your shoulders away from the floor. So your chest is still down. It's a movement of your upper arms. Upper arms back, shoulder blades in. Then lift your head and chest away from the floor. Push your feet down, tailbone down, abdomen in. Then pull your hands as if apart toward the side edges of your mat and back towards your hips. Keep all of that happening. Move your shoulders back, lift your chest, and see if you can curl in your upper back. It's more about the curl in your upper back than it is about the push of your hands. Lower down. Down dog, please. Lift your right leg, split down dog. Step your right foot in between your hands. Keep your back heel lifted. You can also lower your back knee for more support. Lean into your left hand. Turn in your upper body to the right and extend your top arm up. Lift your back thigh, even your back hip, and squeeze your right outer hip toward your left inner thigh. Do that until your right knee widens. Tone your abdomen in. Move both shoulders back, even your head back. Stretch your hands apart and into that space, twist in your upper back to the right. Lower your top hand to the floor inside of your front foot. Turn your back heel to the floor so your back toes turn to the left, and line up your front heel at the middle of your back arch like a tightrope or a slack line. Then walk your hands forward and then a slight diagonal to the left. This is down dog lunge. Squeeze your feet in until your hips get a little more buoyant. Then again, pull your right outer hip back, right sit bone toward left inner thigh, and widen your right knee. Like your down dog, lift your shoulders and push with your hands. Walk your hands back. Down dog, please. Lift your left leg, split down dog. Step your left foot in between your hands. Widen your right hand a little to the right. You can lower your back knee for more support if you need to. Twist to the left and extend your left arm up. Lift your back thigh and clamp your left outer hip toward your right inner thigh. Tone your abdomen in. Lean your head and shoulders back. Stretch your hands apart and into that space, twist in your upper body. Lower your top hand to the floor. Inside of your front foot. Turn your back heel to the floor, line up your front heel with the middle of your back arch, and walk your hands forward and at a slight angle to the right. Tone your abdomen in. Squeeze your feet toward each other, and again, move your left outer hip back, widen your front knee. Like your down dog, push into your hands. Walk your hands in. Lift your back heel. Step back down dog. Inhale, plank pose with your knees on or off the floor. Spread your fingers, grip your fingers, and keep your index knuckle down from beginning to end. Then pull your hands as if apart. Pull your hands as if back. Tone your abdomen in and breathe normally, if you can. If you're shaking, it means you're working. Keep that, hands out, hands back, lower all the way down. Uncurl your toes. This time interlace your hands behind your low back, or you can repeat arms by your sides again. Your hands are bound, bend your elbows. Like your cobra, lift the fronts of your shoulders so that's the top of your arm that's moving. Squeeze your shoulder blades in so your chest is open. Only if you can maintain that, begin to straighten your arms. With your inhale, lift everything except your hips away from the floor. Squeeze your thighs and turn your inner thighs up so your kneecaps point down. Tone your abdomen in. Then pull your hands as if apart. That'll help work your shoulder blades in. Move your shoulders back, hands back, chest forward. Lower down. Down dog. Soften your knees and walk your hands back to your feet. That's hands to feet. Inhale, stand up. Okay. If you have blocks or something similar, you can set those up along the long edges of your mat. I didn't tell you you needed them, so that was my fault. The long edge of your mat that you will not be facing. You can also use books, candles, water bottles, mason jars. A lot of things work as far as getting height. Okay, take a wide stance, please. Lift your wrists to the height of your shoulders. Then turn your right foot open to the right. Bend your front knee, warrior two. Push into your back heel, widen your front knee. Tone your abdomen in. Move your torso slightly toward your back heel. And with your inhale, lift your chest, lengthen your spine. With your exhale, soften your exterior. Soften the features of your face. Push into the ball of your right foot like you're pushing into a gas pedal. And begin to straighten your front leg. Doesn't have to be all the way straight. In fact, I'd recommend a little bend. Then for triangle pose, reach. Place your hand to the floor or your block outside of your shin, or place your hand to your shin but not your knee. Extend your top arm up. Push your right big toe into the floor. Squeeze your feet toward each other and lift your kneecaps up towards your hips to stabilize your legs. Press your tailbone in. Move your head and shoulders back. Tone your abdomen in and then stretch. Your feet out and down, your hands apart, and reach your head away from your hips. You can look down, out, or up for this one. Leave your block where it is. Bend your front knee. Warrior two, stand up. Straighten your front leg. Bend your front knee again like your warrior two. Then for extended side angle, bring your right forearm to your thigh or your hand back to your block. Extend your top arm in line with your ear like a crescent pose. Squeeze your feet in, widen your front knee. Tone your abdomen in, turn across your chest to the left, and then stretch your top hand away from your back heel like you still had hold of your wrist. Inhale, leave your block there, come up, turn your right foot in, turn your left foot out. 3 poses all on one side. Bend your front knee, warrior two. Look over your left hand. Move the top of your left hip back, right hip back, push your right heel down. Widen your left knee. Move your head and shoulders more towards your back heel. And with your inhale, get brighter and lighter from the inside. Exhale, soften your exterior. Straighten your front leg. Lean your torso to the left. Place your hand to the floor, a prop, or your shin, and extend your top arm up for triangle pose. Push your left big toe down. Squeeze your feet toward each other. Lift your kneecaps to firm your thighs and stabilize your legs. Press your tailbone down, abdomen in. Then move your head and shoulders back. Take an inhale. And with your exhale, stretch, get big. Push through your feet, stretch through your hands, lengthen your spine. You can look down, out, or up. Leave your block where it is. Rebend your front knee, warrior two. Straighten your front leg. Then bend it again. For extended side angle, place your forearm to your thigh or place your hand to your block. Extend your arm in line with your ear. Turn your palm down like a crescent pose. Squeeze your feet in until your back leg gets a little more buoyant, and then push. Widen your left knee to the left. Turn in your chest to the right. Then stretch your top hand away from your back heel like you had hold of your wrist in your crescent pose. Leave your prop where it is. Stand. Turn your left toes in. Place your hands to your hips. Fold over your legs. You can bend your knees here as much as you need to. And if your legs are straight, lift your kneecaps so that the front of your thighs get firm. The only thing that Bella, the dog, hunts is bugs. I think she saw something. Anyway, push your hands down and forward, your feet down and back to strengthen the place that you're stretching. Gently walk your hands forward. Heel toe your feet in until you feel stable. Then stand up and step your feet together. Okay. Move your props off to the side. We're done with those. Step to the front of your mat, please. Inhale, lift your arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift and extend, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift and extend again. Exhale, bend your knees, place your palms, step back down. Oops, sorry about that. Take a few even breaths in your down dog. Bring your feet together. Soften your knees and take an inhale. Exhale, walk your hands back to your feet so that you're in a forward fold at the back of your mat. Inhale, stand up, arms up. Exhale, arms by your sides, Tadasana mountain pose. Inhale, lift your arms up again. Exhale, step your right foot to the middle of your mat. Bend your front knee and lean forward, warrior three. Keep your standing leg bent, but straighten your back leg, level your hips. Then only if you can keep your legs strong, begin to straighten your right leg. And then inhale, stretch your hands back foot apart. And with your exhale, lower your hands to the floor, step back, down dog. Take an inhale in your down dog. Exhale, soften your knees, walk your hands back to your feet, Uttanasana. Inhale, stand up, arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, lower your arms, Tadasana, mountain pose. Second side. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, step your left foot forward. Bend your knee, inhale, stretch up. Exhale, warrior three. Level your hips. If your standing leg is straight, make it strong. And with your inhale, stretch your hands and back foot apart. Exhale, bend your knee, lower your hands to the floor, down dog. Take an inhale in your down dog. And an exhale in your down dog. Take an inhale. Exhale, soften your knees, walk your hands back to your feet. Inhale, stand up, arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, arms by your sides, Tadasana. With your arms by your sides, turn your palms back. Move your arms behind you, shoulders back. You can stay here or interlace your hands behind you. Elevated locust is similar to warrior three. Squeeze your shoulders on your back. Step your right foot to the middle of your mat. Bend your right knee. Lower your torso parallel to the floor, lift your back leg. Only if you can maintain chest open, begin to straighten your arms. Only if you can maintain legs strong, begin to straighten your leg. Reach your left inner thigh up, tone your abdomen in, and then stretch your shoulders back, hands back, chest forward. Release your hands to the floor, down dog. Take an inhale in your down dog. Soften your knees, walk your hands back to your feet. Inhale, stand up, arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, arms by your sides, Tadasana, mountain pose. Straighten your arms by your sides, turn your palms back. This will be more like the locust one that we did earlier on your belly. Move your hands back, shoulders back, or interlace your hands again. If your hands are bound, squeeze your shoulders in. Step your left foot to the middle of your mat. Bend your left knee, lower your arms and torso parallel to the floor. Begin to straighten your arms only if you can maintain chest open, and do or don't lift your back leg. If you can maintain a strong leg, begin to straighten your standing leg. Lift your right inner thigh, turn your hip bone down, tone your abdomen in. Pull your hands apart, stretch your shoulders back, chest forward. Lower your hands to the floor, down dog. Breathe evenly. Come back to yourself, come back to center. Step your right foot in between your hands. Lower your back knee to the floor. If you need more support, you can fold the long edge of your mat over. Then turn your right foot and knee out at a slight diagonal. Walk your left hand out and forward a few inches. Maybe it's even off your mat. Turn in your upper body to the right. Do or don't, bend your back knee, catch your back foot. Your back foot and knee will let you know if that's a don't for you today. Bring your heel towards your hip, and when that stops working, move your hip to your heel. Then move your hips down and forward. Move your shoulders back, lift your chest. Squeeze your back knee toward your front heel and tone your abdomen in. Then lift your chest towards your chin, chin out of your chest, and even move your head back, head out of the way of your heart. Keep your right big toe down. Release your back foot. Lower your top hand. Notice that your foot is turned out at a diagonal. Widen your heel so that your foot is pointing straight ahead, but is wider than your normal lunge. You can walk your hands forward like a down dog, Or you can lower your forearms to the floor or a block inside of your front foot. Dig your left knee down, lift your left hip up. Move your right outer hip back and squeeze your right inner thigh in. Not easy to do. Push your forearms down, lift your chest toward your thumbs. Gently walk your hands in. Bring your right foot back in between your hands. Down dog. Step your left foot in between your hands. Twisted monkey lunge first. Lower your back knee to the floor. You can fold the long edge of your mat over. Then turn your left foot and knee out at about a 30-degree angle and walk your right hand out and forward a few inches. Lean into your right hand, twist left. Do or don't, bend your back knee and catch your back foot with your hand. Move your heel to your hip, then move your butt to your heel, then keeping that contact, move your hips down and forward. Turn in your upper body to the left. Squeeze your back knee toward your front heel, press your tailbone in. Tone your abdomen in. Lift your chest, lift your chin, and curl your head back. Even think back bend, lift the back of your heart. Right from the inside out. Gently release your right foot. Lower your left hand to the floor inside of your left foot and widen your left heel so your foot is pointing straight ahead now. You can walk your hands forward like a down dog or lower your forearms to the floor or a block. Squeeze your back knee forward, lift your back hip up. Squeeze your left outer hip toward your right inner thigh and simultaneously squeeze your left inner thigh in. It's both, because yoga is a paradox to be embraced. Lift your chest toward your thumbs. Gently place your palms to the floor. Walk your left foot in. Step back down dog. All right, for the next pose, the aim of the game is to keep your abdomen touching your thigh, not sweaty, your abdomen touching your thigh, even if your knee is bent. Step your right foot in between your hands. This is back knee lifted unless you need some support. All right, push your abdomen and your thigh together. Lift your chest forward, stretch your chest. So it's almost like you're doing a cow pose action in your upper body. Lift your back heel, lift your back thigh so your back leg is engaged, and with your rib and thigh connected, begin to lift your hips back to straighten your front leg. Keep reaching your chest forward. As you straighten your front leg, you can reach your back heel down, but keep your back thigh lifted. Squeeze your right outer hip toward your left inner thigh. Tone your abdomen in, and then like you did in your plank pose, push your hands down, pull your hands out, pull your hands back, and like your cobra, see if you can get more length in your torso. Ooh. All right, here's where the fun part comes in. Lift your back heel, step your back foot in about halfway, and walk your hands forward. You can do hands by your feet still, that's what I'm gonna do, but it's a little harder to balance. Stay where you are, or like your warrior 3, lift your back leg up. You can look down or fold your face towards your knee and your shin, and again, only straighten your leg as much as you can keep your ribs and thighs in contact. Whew. Lower your back foot to the floor, lunge pose. Step back down. We've made it to the finale, which means Shavasana is very close. Step your left foot in between your hands, please. Remember, it's 3 poses. Lunge pose. With your fingertips on the floor, bring your ribs and thigh together on your front leg. With your back leg, lift your back heel up and forward and lift your back thigh so your back leg is engaged, is ready for further instruction. Stretch your chest forward. Then keeping your rib and thigh in contact, begin to lift your hips back to straighten your leg. You can keep lifting your back heel or reach it back, whichever one feels better to you. Squeeze your left outer hip in, tone your abdomen in, and then stretch your chest towards your toes. Like your plank pose, push your hands down, out, back, and like your cobra, see if you can get more length. On all straight legs, lift your kneecaps. Okay. Lean a little forward, step your back foot in. You can keep your hands where they are or walk your hands more forward. With your rib and thigh still in contact, lean forward, lift your back leg up. With your rib and thigh still connected, that might mean a bent knee, which is fine. Fold over your leg, look forward or back towards your shin. Reach your right inner thigh up so that your hips are level. Should have considered the sequence when I got dressed this morning. Step back, lunge. Step back, down dog. Lower your knees to the floor, child's pose. You can do any variation of child's pose you wish. Gently walk your hands in. Help yourself up to a kneeling position. Kneeling meaning not sitting on your feet, but standing on your knees. Place your hands to your hips. If you need more support, you can place a towel or a blanket under your knees. This is camel prep. If you're familiar with Ustrasana full camel, no, it's not a problem. That's fine. You're at home. You can do whatever you want. But I'm going to stop with forearms parallel to the floor, hands on hips. Squeeze your thighs in. Press your hands down, lengthen your spine. As if your hands were bound, move your shoulders back, shoulder blades in and slightly down. Then again, push your hands down, get tall. From the back of your heart, lift. Keep the lift action happening as you begin to curl back. Keep squeezing your thighs in, pressing your hands down, lift your chest. Stop when your forearms become parallel to the floor, or if you're moving on your own safely, that's fine with me. Push your hands down, lift your torso up. Have a seat on your feet, toes uncurled. Place your palms in front of your heart. Lift your chest into your thumbs. Bring your awareness to your gaze. Whoa, bring your awareness to your breath. You begin to soften your breath and soften any residual lingering effort from that last pose. Gently release your hands. Lay down on your back, please. Bend your knees, place your feet to the floor. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh, needle's eye. Stay here, come back here, or draw your knees in. Interlace your hands behind your thigh or around the front of your shin. Then rest your head on the floor. To stabilize your right knee, flex your right foot, spread your toes, and use your arms to draw your legs in. Use your breath to soften in your jaw, in the features of your face, in the base of your skull. Gently release your legs. Switch sides, left ankle over right thigh. Do whatever you did on the first side. To stabilize your left knee, flex your left foot, spread your toes. Use your arms to draw your legs in. And use your breath to soften in somewhere that you do not need to be strong. And that may be more energetic than physical. Might be more of a metaphorical cue than a literal cue for you today. Gently release your leg. With your knees bent, feet on the floor, widen your feet toward the outer edges of your mat, and extend your arms off to the sides like a capital T or a goalpost. Slide your hips a few inches to the left. And like dominoes, lower your knees to the right. Move your left shoulder in slightly and look up or to the left. Gently lift your legs back up. Move your hips through center to the right and lower your knees to the left. Walk your right shoulder blade in. Look up or to the right. Realign your hips with your shoulders, draw your knees in, and you can either do reclined child's pose, which is hands on shins, or happy baby, which is holding your feet, arms inside of your legs. You can roll side to side or be still. When you're ready, release your feet. Settle in for your Shavasana. Going from movement to stillness. Let your breath breathe on its own. And let the floor beneath you support you completely so that you can soften in your effort. Soften in your need to control or support yourself. You are welcome to continue to rest for as long as you'd like. Or if you're ready, one at a time, bend your knees and roll to one side. In your own way, your own time, gently make your way back to a comfortable seat. Place your hands to your thighs or place your palms together in front of your heart. Take a moment to be still in the space that you've opened in your body. Yoga can be this really interesting, really beautiful confluence of strength and stability, flexibility, and setting boundaries, holding strong. In deep reverence and gratitude to you. Namaste. Thank you all so much for being here. Again, I'm Hannah. We release these videos once a week, usually on Saturdays. So thanks for joining in and stay tuned for next time. Thank you.